For these two, I decided to use a colored background and then just obviously use the black to decorate it. I thought this one needed a little more definition, so for this I literally just took my toothpick and did a real fine line around the edge, like that. Kind of drew it on. As I said, a lot of people have syringes that they use to do real fine work like this. And you can find like squeeze bottles with like little needle nose type points on them. I think maybe Donna Cato on her Prairie Craft website has little bottles you can squeeze out of. But I always just use a little toothpick and my needles here. So you can decorate like that and just use one color and use your background color to go along with it. And then the last thing I did was this one with the little chambers. Now you have to make sure that you actually have the clay butting up to each point, and make sure you have it down real tight, because otherwise the clay will leak through into the other colors. So I'm not positive I did that on this one, but we'll see, won't we? This one you can grab a little bit more. This would be a good one for a syringe because you could just kind of squirt everything out. But if you're using toothpicks, you can just pick up a little bit more than when you're doing the delicate little dots. But the important thing is make sure you do go up to the edges. And I kind of push it in there because you'll find when it bakes that sometimes it gets a little gap in there. So you want to make sure you're actually getting it right in there. So you don't see that. You can see on this one, I missed just I don't know if you can see it, just a tiny bit down there. It looked like it had filled in the whole thing, but it actually pulled back a little bit when it was baking. So if you are careful, you can make sure you fill in all those areas. And this kind of gives like a little faux enamel look. I mean, some people have, Debbie Jackson, I believe, has actually put in like little metal dividers to actually divide up the parts of her piece, so it really does look like enamel. And that's one of the first uses I saw for the liquid Sculpey, is to do a faux enamel technique. So this just kind of scratches the surface of the things you can do with liquid polymer clay. And again, we were using oil paints. You don't want to use any water-based paints in here because the water will bubble up in the oven. So oil-based paints, Pearlex powders are another great thing to mix in. Really anything that you can bake in your oven at a safe temperature will do okay here. Pay attention to the manufacturing temperatures here. Some recommend like you hit it with a heat gun, which is a higher temperature. Some say go up to 300, but the base clay may not be able to take that. So if you really get into this, definitely check out the resources on the web, because you will find lots and lots of opinions on temperatures to bake this. And it depends on the product. There's 3 makers of this, and they all really have their own recommendations. So just be careful about that and have fun.